G'day YouTube, Warbles on a lot here. I'm going to have a bit of a walk and talk focused on the idea of fast fuse friendships or friendshits. The idea of the fast fuse friend was explained to me by my daughter a few years ago. There's somebody who shows up on the horizon, approaches, decides that they want to be the best friend you've ever had. They want to get really super close. They spend a lot of time professing the depth and purity of their admiration and what a great, deep, close friend they like you to think of them as being. And then at some point, kind of in the way that a lot of marriages go with the I love you, you're perfect, now change, they get the shits with the object of their fast fuse friendship. And then they decide that instead of being the best thing since sliced bread or Minties, you're the nastiest bastard they've ever met, and they've got to go and tell everybody what an arsehole you are. Yeah, well, Warbles on a Lot channel is being made the focus of the fast feud friendship. Fast feud friendship, you'll notice I said. This is a particular screaming American meme who turned up a year or so ago and went the particular trajectory that I just described. But one of the things they wanted to know about was pacifism. How does pacifism work, you see? And I explained how I think pacifism works, and it's pretty bloody simple. There are two propositions. Either all war is good, and I think that's obviously a bullshit proposition, or all war is bad. And it's a lot easier for me to philosophically swallow the idea that all war is bad than it is to swallow the idea that all war is good. So, yes, on the proposition that all war is bad, therefore I am a pacifist. Well, this is a problem for the Screaming Mimi, because the Screaming Mimi takes great pride in an ancestral history of militarism. They claim to have a military service record of their own. And I've attempted to explain that I can have respect for an individual for having done whatever they've done in the service of whatever country they happen to have been fighting for, but I don't think they did the right thing in joining their military. If all war is bad, then it's bad when my family gets involved in it, just like it's bad when Adolf Hitler's family gets involved with it. It's not a variable feast where my country's warriors are all good, all noble, all brave, and their enemies are all wicked, all evil, all bastards. You know, like if it's wrong to bomb cities from the air, then it's just as wrong for the Royal Australian Air Force as it is for the Luftwaffe or for the Imperial Japanese Naval Air Service. If you look at life from a sort of a God's eye viewpoint, you know, stop thinking of yourself as living inside the boundaries of the particular igneous fatuous that you're standing on. Igneous fatuous, a stupid rock. If it's wrong for the individual to take any action, then it's wrong for a bunch of individuals to take that same action. You can't say, oh, you know, like it's terribly bad to save up your money and buy a gun and then go and shoot somebody because you don't like what they're doing. But if 50 other people club together and pool their money and buy the gun and give it to you and give you a set of clothes and a backpack full of food, and they send you off to shoot some stranger because you don't like what they're doing, that's okay, is it? It's wrong to rape on an individual level, but if a football team pack rapes a bloody cheerleader, does that make it right because they did it in company and peer group pressure was involved? I don't think so. I don't think so. I think Samuel Johnson was right when he said that patriotism is the last refuge of the scoundrel. Because if you want to commit rape, looting, arson, murder, Just wrap yourself in a flag. Tell everybody you did it for the benefit of the country, and they'll pat you on the fucking head and give you a medal. They'll probably send you medals in the rations, which you can give out to your camp followers and doxies and junkie horse scumbags who hang around afterwards, wanting to tell you how much they respect you for your service. But anyway, that's neither here nor there. So yeah, this particular screaming American me and I have had a couple of fallings out, I think they're called. But lately, she's taken deep exception to my position on everything from Vietnam to the Iraq War, because I see it as a pacifist. It was a silly idea, 25 years afterwards, all of the people who actually fought there had realised that it was a stupid idea cooked up by politicians for ridiculous reasons, and they were starting to talk to their old adversaries. In the 10 years before they became immobilised in nursing homes, all the bloody World War II fighter pilots and bomber pilots were visiting each other's countries and having memorial dinners and patting each other on the back and discussing how they nearly shot each other down. And some of them, they actually did shoot each other down and met up afterwards because they had parachutes and forced landings and stuff in the intervening years. But they all seemed to decide that it was bullshit. And it strikes me that if you're going to decide that your war is bullshit after 25 years, why don't you decide that it's fucking bullshit right now and give up? Just cut to the chase. Why keep running around prosecuting wars if you know that in the passage of time it's going to clearly show itself to have been stupid? It's a minor factoid of history that not only does violence fail as a conflict resolution tactic, strategy, method, no nation which has launched any war since the American Civil War has succeeded in ending the war with its pre-war goals and aims intact. They don't actually get what they're looking for when they go into the war. Did the Ottoman Empire emerge from World War I having strengthened itself by declaring war on Russia and France and England? Don't think so. How did Kaiser's Germany go in declaring war against Russia and France and England? Because Serbo-Croatian shot an Austro-Hungarian in a town called Sarajevo. None of the people who decided to launch the war achieved anything. Preemptive wars are generally worse. I mean, America did not declare war on anybody in the Second World War. America was attacked by surprise by the Japanese, and Germany declared war on America. So America did not launch any part of the Second World War. It sort of responded to being attacked, and therefore it won big time. The way to win a war is to get yourself attacked by some fucking arsehole who doesn't understand how the cosmic scoreboard works. So none of my positions on warfare are at all appealing to the me. And what appears to have set off their latest little tantrum, which runs to the tune of mentioning me by my actual name on the electoral roll in a video. This comes on top of a couple of previous occasions where my actual name as well as my YouTube name have featured in her video titles. But now what I've done to upset her apparently is I'm supposed to have insulted her ancestors' military splendour, or the splendour of their reputation, impugned their reputation perhaps, when I left a comment under a recent video of hers where she'd been reading somebody's war diary journal. This person was present at Normandy, D-Day, Omaha Beach. And the comment that I left was, I thought, pretty bland really. I said that I too used to try to cover myself in glory by citing the achievements and accomplishments of ancestors and their things that they did before I was born. But then when I was about 18 or 19, I came across a book called Illusions. And in Illusions by Richard Bach, the same fellow who wrote Gift of Wings and Biplane and Stranger to the Ground and No Such Place as Far Away. And Jonathan Livingston Seagull was another one of his books. But in Illusions, he quotes from the Messiah's Handbook, Reminders for the Advanced Soul. And what he said in the Messiah's, or what it said in the Messiah's Handbook, was something along the lines of, a sad little lizard told me that he was a brontosaurus on his mother's father's side. I did not laugh at him, nor cover him with scorn, because claims to ancestral greatness are often the only thing sustaining an otherwise miserable little soul. So that is apparently a case of me attacking the Screaming Mimi's ancestral martial traditions. When what I was saying, is you don't make yourself look any better a human being by worshipfully reading an ancestor's battle diary. That doesn't make you look any better of a person. Doesn't make you look any more intelligent, doesn't make you look any more caring. It certainly doesn't make you look any more right in your assertion that war is only bad when other people make it against America. And when America makes war against anybody, then it's automatically a good thing. My attitude is that America has been making an absolute global bully of itself for at least 25 years, since George Herbert Walker Bush, the bloke whose previous claim to fame was that he was the youngest American pilot to have been shot down by the Japanese in the entire Pacific War when he was 19, flying a Grumman Avenger at Midway. However, he was also, before he got the job of being vice president under Ronald Reagan's zap and pulling his demented puppet strings, he was the deputy director of the CIA. And when he became president, he decided he didn't want to have any bloody peace dividend. He wanted to fire off the entire NATO anti-Soviet stockpile in the desert and then order new ones. New bombs, new bullets, new guns, new jets, new tanks, new uniforms in desert camouflage. So he sent Madeleine Albright into Iraq 2 weeks before Iraq went into Kuwait, and she appeared with Saddam Hussein on my television news announcing that I assured Mr. Saddam Hussein that America is not at all interested in the minor internecine border disputes among its Arab client states. So Saddam Hussein got green-lighted. He went into Kuwait. And then he got NATO's entire anti-Soviet stockpile fired at him. 10 years later, President Shrub the unelected decided to go daddy one better and occupy the place. And that's how come America managed to break the world, particularly the Middle East. They broke the world by trying to set up a forever war, a permanent state of wartime emergency to rescue the American economy. Yeah, well, if the Screaming Mimi is telling the truth, when the Screaming Mimi says that they were deployed to the Iraq Again war by President Shrub the unelected, you can understand why talking to me is not something that they find restful. Life's like that. Recently, I've been accused by the Screaming Mimi of having multiple SOC accounts, of trolling her and of saying things to her about stuff that she's said to other YouTubers. Andy Cantervad is one. She reckons that I had something to do with her having said something about him. No, and no. I've only ever had one YouTube channel. I have no secondary operating channels. I think she's projecting muchly. She said that I use Kiddie-Porn, and I don't do that either. She did mention that she was going to have a go at withdrawing cold turkey because she claims veteran status and mentions Veterans Affairs a lot. I thought maybe, mood stabilisers, tranquilizers, anti-anxiolytics, hypnotics, something like that. And, oh, no, just narcotics. So the Screaming Mimi is just another junkie dreamer, apparently. Got her nose out of joint because she doesn't like the fact that I'm a pacifist. Life's like that. Not much I can do about it, but some of my 1,813 subscribers may perhaps run across her videos and wonder what the fuck the story is. So here it is, Fast Fuse Friendships and the Screaming Mimi. Warbles on a lot to YouTube. Ciao.